I'm Derek Jones, the Director of RCA Mission Programs in Africa and Oman. I want to introduce you to a man who was shunned by society. He was deemed worthless, a burden to his family, and a drunkard who did not provide for his wife and his children. In a constant state of drunkenness for over 12 years, he got to the point where he would not even participate in life and society. Thankfully, this man, James, experienced the life-giving and transformative power of Christ. And in 2019, this Pokot man in northwestern Kenya was impacted by the partnership of the RCA and the Africa Inland Church via the Pokot Project. Through the inductive Bible studies and a comprehensive process, AIC churches are learning to own their development process, mobilize their resources, and share the love of God to the least of these through Good Samaritan groups. When I visited James in 2019, James said I had no use for the church and that talk about heaven and everlasting life. But this group accepted me, and the men embraced me as I was. They showed me brotherly love. They let me participate. They prayed with me. They taught me what it means to be a responsible man and a good steward over the resources God had provided me. I learned what it means to be a Christian and how salvation includes life and life more abundantly. James gave up drinking and decided to give his life to Christ that day. And for the past 7 years, James has been a faithful member of the church, a loving husband who provides for his family. As a result of our partnership, James is enjoying the assurance of life everlasting and the blessing of life more abundantly as a surrendered follower of Jesus Christ. Asante, we thank you. Buena Hasefiwe, praise be to the Lord.
One of the things that I love about our work is the opportunity to help young people engage globally and figure out how God is calling them to serve. In the spring of 2024, we had the opportunity to work with a Hope College student named Silas Peterson, who wanted to take a gap year between the end of college and starting seminary to figure out what ministry might look like for him. We were able to match Silas with one of our partners, the National Evangelical Church English Language Congregation in Bahrain, and Silas was able to spend 9 months with them learning how to lead a congregation. He engaged in worship leadership and youth ministry and pastoral care, and he was even able to preach several times and grow in his abilities to lead in that way. And when Silas went back to seminary, he was able to start with a wealth of experience, actually knowing what it was like to be in a church congregation as a pastoral leader. Now, in the summer of 2026, we have helped Silas to return to Bahrain to do a seminary internship with the National Evangelical Church English Language Congregation. Pastor Blaine Newhouse is in the United States on home assignment, and Silas has been able to step into every aspect of leadership in the congregation during his 8 weeks of service with the church there. He has fallen in love with the people and the ministry and really found how God is calling him to lean in to pastoral ministry and mission in the world.
Hey friends, I wanted to tell you a quick story about my friend Damaris. Damaris is the education coordinator at the Far Limite Climbing Gym and after-school program in Romania. Damaris is from Lupen, Romania, the local community where RCA missionaries Felipe and Janelle Silva started this ministry more than a decade ago. Damaris left Lupen and moved to the big city of Bucharest to go to university and to graduate from graduate school. But something just kept calling her back to her hometown. Eventually, she heard about what was happening with the climbing gym and asked Felipe and Janelle how she could help to use her education to help these kids who are so in need. That conversation was the beginning of a journey that now sees her pouring into educational needs of over 55 students every week. Damaris loves her hometown. She loves the impact she can make in a place that she came from. I hope and pray that someday every kid in the world would be in a loving relationship with someone who loves Jesus. That is exactly what Damaris is doing every single day. Throughout her life, Damaris has been deeply impacted by the love of Jesus, and she is now impacting her own community with that love. That is how we hope to see hope all over the world.
One person I have personally seen impacted by the love of Christ is Tiago Dantas from Brazil. About 9 years ago, I met a young, skinny lawyer named Tiago and his wife, Leah, who was serving as an interpreter and a nurse on a medical mission boat in the Amazon. They both had a heart for the people of the Amazon and a dream of one day serving God in a greater way. But Tiago never imagined that he would become a missionary. As they served alongside missionaries and ministry partners, God began to stir something deeper in their hearts. Through relationships, mentorship, prayer, and the support of the broader church, Tiago and Leah continued to discern God's call. And in 2018, they attended Western Theological Seminary to explore that calling and prepare for ministry. Today, Tiago is an ordained pastor in the Presbyterian Church of Brazil. He serves as a North American Partnership Liaison, helping connect churches across cultures and continents. He also directs Amazon Outreach, a ministry that mobilizes churches and short-term mission teams to bring the gospel to communities throughout Brazil. And today, he serves as an RCA missionary partner. What inspires me most is that Tiago's story has come full circle. A young man who was once being discipled and encouraged by missionaries is now leading others in mission and helping reach new generations with the love of Christ. Tiago's story reminds us that every prayer, every gift, and every partnership matters. When we invest in God's mission, we are not only supporting ministry today, we are helping raise up leaders who will carry the gospel far beyond what we can see. Thank you for being part of that story. Through your faithful support, lives are being transformed, leaders are being equipped, and Christ is being made known in places like the Amazon and around the world. Amen.